Hello everyone and welcome to the Common Corner. It is Sunday. It is Sunday, I think it's the 26th. About 1:30 p.m. Goodness. About 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon. London is its usual gloomy self. I feel like I say that in almost every video. But it is raining outside. It's that kind of nice and bright grey sky with rain. And yeah, I'm having a lovely calm afternoon ahead of me. A bit of chat about my journals, and then we were gonna go see Nosferatu, the kind of vampire film, in the theaters, but now we chose to go with I think it's called Mufasa the Lion King, so very different vibes. I guess we're just looking for something to purely enjoy without any feelings of horror and fear for this afternoon. So that's what we're about to do with my partner Ka. Ka, do you want to say hi?
Hello. Hi everyone.
We're having a nice day in. The trains were cancelled from, and the underground was cancelled from where we live. So we're kind of stuck for today. So we decided to just spend a cozy day here instead of moping about the cancelled plans. But yeah, I actually wanted to just quickly show the Avec of 2024, second half of the year. I mentioned how I had actually forgotten to fill in my index, kind of the second half of December. So I have now done that, and it looks quite lovely, all completed and ready to archive. Same thing with the sleep log. That's also all finished up. So I feel like now this book is kind of ready to sit on my bookshelf until, well, it's usually a couple months will pass, and then I start thinking about the previous year. I started thinking about the previous year and need to kind of cross-reference some things, and that's when I'm probably going to pick this up again. But it's just nice that it's now basically all completed and all of the quote-unquote data from last year is here. So I just wanted to show that briefly. I will also say that my kind of inspiration to make videos hasn't been quite the same since I came back from Finland, and it might just be linked with the fact that January is always a little bit of a weird and difficult month for me. I haven't been having the best time, to be quite honest, but today I'm feeling good, which is great. And I was contemplating on whether to make a video, even though I have some things to say, but I wasn't quite feeling up for it for some reason. But the second that I've now sat down and I've turned on the camera, I feel really happy. I feel really happy to be sitting here. So yes, but I do want to say that I don't want to promise that there will be another video next week or the week after. I need to just make sure that I make one when I feel like making one, not because I said that I will make one in the previous week, if that makes sense. Yes, okay. So let's get to opening up my 2025 Avec for the first time. Well, first time since I've been completing some pages in it. You saw one spread last week because I wanted to show you what I had written for, or what I had kind of done for the spread for the birthday of the Common Corner on the 14th of January. And thank you so much for all the kind words on that video. I've been very quiet on social media, both on Instagram and on YouTube. So I haven't been responding to comments, and I haven't been responding to my DMs. I haven't even kind of been seeing them because I've stayed offline quite a lot this month. So I'm really sorry for that, but I do want to say a big thank you for all the kind words. In here, I have my Paddington pencil board that I got from my father as a Christmas gift on his trip to Japan. He had visited the Topechi store, so the Hobinichi store in Tokyo, I believe, and he had gotten me this. And then I just have my usual little pouch of things, mixed things. Here I'm storing a couple of things. I really love this sticker that I got from the Moomin shop in Helsinki. It reminds me like of a the Truman Show, but like Moomins and the Truman Show collaboration, but it's actually a painting, a mural done by Tove Jansson in one of the hospitals in Finland. So it's actually just a photograph of the painting on the wall of a hospital. I believe it's a children's hospital as well. So that's very cool. They were selling these stickers in the Helsinki Moomin shop. Inside here I have some stickers that I got from a friend of mine who is also my pen pal. And I've been using them quite a lot. They're kind of medical related stickers, so they come into a handy use every day, to be honest. I have just now finished my rotation at the on neurology and neurosurgery, and I will say it was a very, very interesting rotation, but it also made me realize a little bit that neurology or like neurosurgery might not be my number one pick for the upcoming career. Yes, but I will still sit on it. I'm not going to kind of close out any specialties quite yet. It was really cool and amazing to see the brain for the first time, like an alive brain during brain surgery. That was very cool. But I'm not going to go much more into it because some people might find it quite gory. But it was very cool and a big privilege to get to attend those surgeries. Here's my body clock. Just like the last time, I'm doing a red line for nights that I get less than 7 hours of sleep, and a normal line with on any of the days that I get more than 7 hours. And then sometimes I just do little dots if I don't have the time to draw in the line. And actually something that you'll notice here is that I don't have a fountain pen in my pen loop here. And this is actually because I started this book when I was in Finland. I only came back to London on the 7th of January, and I hadn't had time to kind of test out the page, like the paper in my book, and how my fountain pens react to it, basically. So I hadn't had the time for that, and I was kind of too anxious to just go in with my fountain pen without having tested the paper. So I started writing with actually another gel pen, which has now run out of ink, and I couldn't find a replacement for it, so I've just continued with my black Muji gel pen. And I've actually somehow weirdly enjoyed it. It's definitely a bit less hassle than fountain pens, which tend to smudge and leave out little splashes of ink sometimes, and so on. So it's been a bit less hassle with this, and I've kind of enjoyed it. And I decided that I'm just gonna do the first month with the gel pen. There was one day though that, you know, when you do like a dot with the gel pen, you do have to wait a few seconds for it to dry, and I didn't, and it smudged just a little bit, but not too badly. Today's Sunday, and that's when I usually kind of fill in the rest of these boxes for the month. I've really enjoyed noting down the things that I've enjoyed about my days, especially since I've been having a bit of a difficult time. It's been very reassuring to still notice that there's good parts to my days. I decorated a bit of next month as well. This was a really nice time while catching up on some YouTube videos from other journal creators. Oh yes, and then my weekly pages. I think I showed the first one. This is quite a messy one because I just included a lot of ephemera from my trip to Finland. And then I decided to have a little key taped here. So when I switch to the next week, I can still see this color coding for the ways that I use my time. It's very similar to how I've always done it. So I box out my time with work, with hospital placement, meetings with the green, and personal things with the red. And then I have some kind of extra ephemera and some photos of my days here as well. I really like this one. There was a little bit of a red theme that just kind of came about coincidentally. And then here we are with this week. I haven't quite finished. So sometimes actually, yes, I put in the things that I'm doing, and if there are things that might move about, I don't do the actual box around the time until it's kind of confirmed. And sometimes I don't do it until the very end of the week, when it becomes more archiving of my schedule rather than planning, if that makes sense. And I only have a few things planned for next week, but today is usually my day when I go in and I make those boxes. These kind of, I don't really know what to call them, but you know, like I box out my time. I don't really have another word for it, to be quite honest. Okay. I'm starting my psychiatry placement on Monday, so tomorrow. It's gonna be for the next 5 weeks, and I have yet to get my schedule for it. So they're really coming in quite last minute, telling me how I'm gonna be spending my time for the next 5 weeks, but it's okay, I suppose. I'm just moving in the moment, so hopefully it will be okay. I put down this sticker. I think I just got it from a friend, so I don't know where it's from. It's a bit of irony, humor here with a happy list, and it's empty, and then it's my psychiatry placement. I don't know why I thought that would be. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's just a bit of dark humor. Okay, let's move on to my daily pages. I'm really excited to show these because I've been having a great time despite my kind of gloomy time. So my pages have been giving me a lot of comfort. You've seen this, possibly, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you might have seen the cover page for January, which is what I did when I was setting up my Avec. And this is actually a couple of pages of Finnish writing that I did with my friends when we were in Lapland for the New Year's. And one of my friends had the idea that we would write down our dreams, maybe for the upcoming year or for our life if we wished. And it was actually very fun because I had my A6 Hobinichi like freebie notebook with me that I've been using for like, if you know, these pages are not enough for me for the day. And I took out some pages from there and I gave them to my friends, and then everyone picked a fountain pen from my collection to do their writing. So that was really fun that I got to share my fountain pens with all of my friends. None of them had written with a fountain pen before, and they were all really excited about it. And a few of them said that they really want to get one now. So that's a kind of a special memory in relation to writing down my dreams, which I wrote with a 1mm stub nib. It was a, just a second, I'm getting it out from my fountain pen pouch. A Twisby Eco with the stub nib. Really, really beautiful. That I also got from a friend. Thank you. And this had the Fisherman at Sea ink in it, which is by, just a second. It might be Diamine, but I'm actually not 100% sure. Did I write it down anywhere? I don't think I did. Apologies for that. Also, you might notice this video is not like cut in any way. I always like to include my little opening line of welcome to the Common Corner in text. But other than that, I think this video is not going to be cut in any way. I just want to make the process of uploading a video a little bit like, how should I say it in English? Basically so that I don't need to put a lot of effort to upload a video, because at the moment I'm quite tired. I've actually been napping for the first time in like years. So I'm trying not to add any extra things to my to-do list. Usually I really enjoy editing videos, but I think these days my own expectation on myself to edit and cut my videos has actually made me feel not as excited to make them. So I'm actually gonna try and not cut this video at all. I'm sure that I'm gonna get the energy back to edit them, because I really enjoy that process, but I think for now the videos are gonna be quite low-key and simple. The first day of the year I spent in a little, it's not a mountain, it's somewhere between a big hill and a mountain in Lapland, and we went skiing. And here you can actually see the sun And why I'm saying you can actually see the sun is because this is the only time that I saw the sun during my 3 weeks of being in Finland. And I saw it for about 30 minutes to an hour, something like that. It was about minus 24 degrees, so very, very wintry, but very beautiful. And on the previous day, we had seen some northern lights. So it was a really, really beautiful way to switch into the new year. This is some more memories from Lapland. I went to this little boutique which was selling souvenirs from Lapland, and they had these stickers, you know, it says Lapland, Finland, but I think these souvenirs were supposed to be sold to people who visit Lapland during the summertime because it says the land of the midnight sun. So I thought that was really funny because I only saw the sun for 30 minutes when I was there. Because during winter, I said the land of no sun during winter, forever night. And it's the opposite then during summertime when it's forever day. Just some more memories of going to cafes with friends and eating good food in my hometown. Making a lot of coffee. I drank a lot of coffee in Finland. I might have talked about this before, or I definitely have actually, but you know, maybe more than half a year ago, that Finland has a very specific coffee culture. So everyone there drinks filter coffee, and you drink a lot of it. People average maybe about 4 to 5 cups of filter coffee every day, the people who do drink coffee. Actually, in my family, curiously enough, I'm the only person who regularly drinks coffee, and I have a family of 7 members. So yeah. Saw some movies. We were watching it at home, and actually decided to not finish a book that I had been reading for about 4 months or so. It was important for me to realize that I can put down a book and not finish it. And that's actually then how I got out of my reading slump. Oh, and there was 5,000 people in the Common Corner community on the 5th of January. So that's quite fun. On the 5th of January 2025, there was 5,000 people that had joined the community, and that's really beautiful. Great. Yeah. I really recommend this film, by the way. It's called Perfect Days and the director is called Wim Wenders, a 2023 film that I saw in the cinemas at the time. But it is so brilliant that I wanted to share it with my family, especially since my dad had recently visited Japan and Tokyo, and this is placed in Tokyo, in one of the areas there. And basically it's about a toilet cleaner in Tokyo. And initially, I think it was going to be a short film, which was like an advertisement for the Tokyo toilets. They have very interesting public toilets there. They're kind of architectural artwork. But then Wim Wenders, I think, wrote the screenplay, and it turned into a film, and then it received many awards. The Tokyo toilet does get featured there a lot, but it's just a brilliant, brilliant story, and very, very interesting. I recommend it highly, highly. And then it was time to go back to Helsinki, and then back to London. This is my little drawing of a plane going back to London, and a fully backfilled page when there's that kind of box around the page. It means that it's fully backfilled. It just kind of gives me an idea of when did I not have time to tune in to my journal. This was this was a Christmas gift that I got from Ka, one of the Pop Mart figurines from the Hero No Shelter series, and I got the one that I had been wanting, which is really cool. And I actually learned that this guy presents, where is it? I had to reach out to the other side of my bookshelf. So this guy is actually a little like weather thing that I think people in Japan, or it's kind of in the Japanese culture, you can hang it on your window, and it's supposed to kind of like signal the hope for good weather. So you would hang it like this. And I had some stickers like this actually that I had gotten from Hong Kong, and someone kindly taught me what it means. And I didn't realize that this is not a little ghost guy, but it's actually one of those weather good luck charms, like charms for good weather. And then the guy, the face is poking out of there. And I guess it's wearing like rain boots as well, which kind of fits in with that. Yeah, a little ramble about that. And this little pocket is actually from the Moomin shop at the airport. If you go to more than one Moomin shop in Helsinki, they have 3 altogether, they give you a little charm for free. And the charm that you get given is like a blind box, so you don't know which charm you're gonna get. And I actually happened to get another one of the Hattifattener charms, so now I have one which is matching on my pencil case, and that's quite cute. And this was already, a few days after I had returned back to London, but I didn't have any space to put this little pocket in. And then this is also, from the holidays, so I just put here memories from the holidays. Then I actually went to Newcastle, and to a little place nearby Newcastle, or next to Newcastle in the UK, called Sunderland, and it's by the seaside. I was invited there by a medical university to come and speak about creative inquiry in medical education, and to give a keynote on journaling at a conference. And that was a very unique experience because it's the first time, actually not the first time, but the first kind of very, very official time that I've been asked to come speak about my hobby in a more professional setting. And that was really cool. I'm actually writing now a dissertation on the role of creative inquiry in medical education as a preventative tool for burnout in medical students specifically, and I'm using journaling as a case study there. So it's really cool that I'm kind of getting chances to extend and expand my hobby into my academic life. I just wanted to share that. I shared a little photo from there on my Instagram, and people were curious about it, so I thought I would mention it here as well. And the hotel that I was there, that I stayed there at, was by the seaside. And in the morning before attending the conference, I had a little walk with one of my mentors by the seaside, and we were kind of just talking about the upcoming conference, and it's just a really, really nice memory for me now, looking back. Then we had a few very, very cold days in London. This is a photo that I took from the window where the grass is kind of completely frosted over, and it looks very magical and very wintry, which is nice. I'm enjoying well, actually, I like the winter in Finland just a little bit better just because of the snow. But here it has a very unique feeling that's very different from Finland. Then I had a forest walk with my friend, and we live now in an area of London where there's a lot of nature. So I invited a friend of mine to go on a walk to the forest, and we had a good catch up in the new year. And I really like how I've done some drawings here with my brush pen, and it kind of ties in a lot of things well. And then it's time for the Common Corner's birthday, and I had gotten some of these Clover PET tape from a friend, and it just matches really beautifully. And of course I use the Clover, is that how it's pronounced in English actually? I think so. I use the Clover a lot in my channel, kind of just as a symbol for the Common Corner. I know that it symbolizes luck, but for me it also symbolizes that I wish all the good for you. I wish you luck in everything. So I always like to put it here and there so that people can feel lucky when they are kind of in this community. Because I think having a community such as this, I already feel lucky just by that. I had a few really difficult days, so hence the little drawing. This is not by me. My sister had actually found it last summer on Pinterest, and it has a little signature there that seems to read joy, but I'm not sure if it's a signature or if it's the title of the drawing. But she found it from Pinterest, and we couldn't find the credit for it, which is unfortunate. And I just happened to come across it in my camera roll because I had printed it for her, so I was able to print it again and just put it here because I just happened to find it on a day where I was feeling like the photo. I had bought a book called November in Moomin Valley, and from the Helsinki airport, and I read it in just a few days. It was really, really good. And I had this beautiful sticker of the Moomin house that I put here. And I use Megan Rhiannon's archive book labels, or book archive labels, not to archive my notebooks, but to actually archive the books that I read, so the actual books that I read. And the little list of types of journals I use to denote where I've written notes on this book. So usually it's always in my journal, because I always put down one of these labels here, and then in my commonplace. But I've yet to do any commonplacing on November in Moomin Valley book. But when I do, I'm gonna color in the commonplace there as well. I've been having quite a good time in my commonplace book recently, and that's because I've gotten out of my reading slump, so I have a lot of things to write down. Yeah, I really recommend it. I felt a bit weird reading this book in January, but I think the weather and the mood here in London is very similar to November, like weather-wise, and it doesn't really get mentioned that it's November in the book that much. It more so talks about the rain and the gloom and the community coming together while they wait for the Moomin family to return back home. It was a really good book. It's really beautiful as well. I actually have it here right next to me, so I'll show you. It's really nice. Okay, here I'm just doing a bit of reflecting on my medical school things. I was doing a specialty day in Maxfax, which is a specialty that focuses on the maxillofacial aspect of the body. So basically there's a bone around here that is the maxilla. The mandible is the one that's the jaw, and then above there, so you know, when we eat, we can move the mandible, but we cannot move the maxilla, which is the jaw, which is the bone above it. And then, so max is referring to the maxilla, and fax is referring to the face. So Max Fax Theatre. So I was in a theatre where we operated on a couple of fractures around the eye socket and that kind of stuff. Other stuff as well, but once again, I'm a bit, you know, I don't want to go into too much visual detail about the operations. I might do maybe a separate series on talking about my experiences at medical school and how I journal about them. But yes, well, I'll leave the thought there. Also, these little treats from Lidl. I used to live in Germany, and Lidl, I think, is a German grocery store. So I used to eat these, like Kinder Milky, I think that's what they're called. And there's a Lidl nearby here, so I really love getting them every now and then. And I put the labels that you're here. Then I had a few very beautiful social days. Actually, it was on this Friday that we went to have a dumpling making party with our friends, and we also did some calligraphy in preparation for the Chinese New Year, or the Lunar New Year, that's on the 29th, so in just a few days. And then on this Saturday, we had a Mario Kart party and dinner with my friends, and my friend's partner is a cook, so we had some very, very delicious pasta and a very delicious dessert. And then the following day, I kind of relaxed at home. That was last Sunday. And then in the evening, I went to see Ka at his jewelry market, and then we went to have some noodle soup. And I also met a new designer friend at one of the Brick Lane markets. And yeah, she followed the Common Corner that day, so that's quite fun. Hello to Chantel, if you're here. She has some really, really amazing clothing pieces, by the way, if you're interested in fashion. And then began the final week of neurology, which is focused on neurosurgery. Here you can see right away day 1 out of 5 of neurosurgery, day 2 out of 5 of neurosurgery. I actually spent the first 2 days in like clinics and in teaching sessions, so not actually in the theater seeing surgery. But I think it's really important to see kind of the other aspect of neurosurgery, which is kind of having clinic pre-operatively and then following up the patients after their procedures. I also finished reading my 4th book of the year, Earthlings by, what's her name? Sayaka Murata. Yes, a very, very interesting book. A very interesting commentary on today's society. I highly recommend it, but it's quite heavy, so I would maybe read the trigger warnings for that one if you're interested. I just really enjoy how these pages came together. They really depict what I was doing on these days, but also that I was just feeling extremely sleepy and tired and a bit gloomy. I feel like, you know, having the school here, even though it's relevant to the neurosurgery, but it's also relevant to the mood that I was going through. A few days with kind of seeing friends, actually not a few days, just on Wednesday I saw a friend. I got some new books. I had some takeout to like help me with the cooking, and there was this cafe called Nagare in Shoreditch of London, a really, really nice Japanese cafe, and they had their 2 years anniversary and they were giving out free stickers for that, which is very much a plus. It's a very cute sticker as well. But I didn't have any space on Wednesday, so I put it here. I've just kind of been taking freedom in my book, not really minding if memorabilia goes on the next page, even if it was on the previous day, etc. Like, for example, this Waterstones receipt, as well as this chopsticks cover, these are both memories from Tuesday, but there was no space, so I just put it here. You know, time is flowing anyway. Time is not limited to a page, and I'm trying to remember that. Then I had a interesting day on Friday, last day of neurosurgery, very interesting surgeries that I did see on that day. And on the previous day, actually on Thursday, I haven't written it here. I had a very difficult day overall, but I did see a very interesting brain tumor removal surgery. So that was a really amazing experience, but unfortunately I didn't have much space here to talk about it. Yeah, my friend gave me this sticker on Wednesday from a new friend of theirs, and it just kind of reflected the coziness that I needed on Friday. And also the frogs here are very cute. The little butt is really funny. I finished my 5th book of the year, called My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I don't know if anyone knows this book, but I had been seeing it around in the bookstores, and I had thought that it sounded very nice and relaxing indeed, like the title, My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Do I have it here next to me? I don't think so. I think it's in the kitchen. But it was very much not about resting and relaxing. It was actually about someone going through a really difficult period in their life, and coping with it in not very healthy ways. And I think I was maybe affected by that book to feel even worse over the week. But it was still an extremely well-written book. I rated it 4 out of 5, and I'm quite a tough critic when it comes to books and movies. It was really brilliant, but it made me sleep a lot somehow. Like, I was napping like every day when I was reading it. And this book is actually about sleep as well, so in a certain way. Yesterday I had finally a very nice day. A day of rest, a day of being outside. With Ka, we went to a forest to do a photo shoot for Ka's jewelry brand, and I was the model for it. I've been the model for it kind of from the beginning, which has been really, really fun every single time. And then in the evening we went to have some Philippines food, and they were singing karaoke in the restaurant, so we joined in and also sang a song. And then here we are today, I'm enjoying a calm day. Some plans got changed because of the train's not running, but I'm okay with that. And there's some space here to put my movie ticket. And yeah, I've been using these checkboxes here to do some planning for the upcoming week, even though the main bit of my planning does still take place in my Hobinichi Weeks book. But okay, I think that's all I wanted to share for today. Thank you for tuning in, and yeah, we will see when I next see you. I am just trying to take it easy in this strange start to the year. I had a very strange time last year in January as well, where I spent some time in a hospital. But that was also the time that I had just started my channel, and I was really excited by that. So even being in the hospital wasn't weighing down on me too much, because I was so excited about the new project that I had started called The Common Corner. And I'm grateful still to be here and to be talking about this stuff. It's really cool to have a space such as this English language. I have some lovely ink stains on my fingers and my hands. I was writing some letters today, so that was really fun with my fountain pens, because now I'm using my gel pen mostly, so it's really fun to get to use my fountain pens when I'm writing letters. Okay, me and my little hero guy will say have a good day, have a calm and cozy week, hopefully, and I will see you relatively soon. Okay, until then, bye bye.